packing a travel capsule, I don't pack a color palette. I pack a color story. Welcome to my series, 30 Days to a Better Carry-On. Today we're talking about color, specifically that you need to mix and match colors as part of your travel capsule. Hi, I'm Josie. I've been packing carry-on only for over 25 years, and I'm here to show you how you can too. Yes, a color palette in general is important, but when you think of your travel capsule in terms of a color story, I feel like it gives the capsule a little bit more flexibility. And if you're not wanting to repeat outfits, then having a good color story is important. But if you're on a shorter trip, here's the guidelines that I like to follow. Every bottom has to match with at least 2 tops. So that alone gives you a lot of flexibility in your travel capsule planning. Not necessarily anchored in or locked into a color palette, more of a color story. Things should complement each other without being perfect matches. Because I don't know about you, but my closet is a jumbled mess of colors and patterns, and they don't necessarily all go together. Over time, I've built my closet up with a foundation of neutrals that I can build off of, but I understand that not everybody has a closet of neutrals, and not everybody likes neutrals. If you love color, do not listen to the advice that you only should pack neutrals. Pack what makes you comfortable and what's appropriate for your trip. Mixing and matching shouldn't be too hard. I'll give you some tips on how to build your color story for your travel capsule wardrobe. So you're going to start with some core neutrals, whatever that is for you, whatever you have the most of in your closet. So building off those core neutrals, you're going to fold in secondary neutrals. Secondary neutrals would be something like maybe an olive green, maybe a deep shade of blue. The secondary neutral should complement the primary neutral. And the reason for this is unless you're going for a monochromatic look, that's what you're going to end up with. If all you're doing is packing black or tan, and that can work if that's your style. But if you want a little bit more variety, that's where the secondary neutral comes in. And if you want, after you have your primary and your secondary neutral, that's when you add that pop of color. So it could be a pop of red, which I love, a pop of berry, any color that speaks to you in a small dose. The big thing when choosing all these colors is to make sure that they are layering well on top of each other. So one thing you will have to pay attention to is your outerwear, since that's your most visible layer and that's going to be the final layer on your outfits. Make sure that that complements most of your outfits. But remember, you're taking 2 outerwear, so if it only matches a few things, that's fine. Make sure your other outerwear matches the remaining parts of your travel capsule. And I'll post up here some examples of neutral colors, and you can screenshot that, and also some potential pops of color. Also keep in mind with your bottoms to keep those fairly neutral and bring the pattern or the colors on your top layer. That's what makes things easier to mix and match for you. And because we're packing a color story, you of course can incorporate pattern into your travel capsule, but just use it sparingly. You don't want to introduce too many patterns, but I would introduce them on your top layers. That's the easiest way to incorporate them and to make sure it works with all your other layers. And don't think that you have to create these Pinterest perfect travel capsules. I know I create them for my account, but it's mostly just to give an idea of what can be accomplished. You don't have to be that perfect about it. You don't have to overthink it. You're really aiming for cohesion, and compatibility. And if you want more info on this, head on over to my Substack.